Hi friends, welcome to Aishusdiy. Today we will learn how to make this beautiful fringe earrings, perfect for summer. You can use any colors you want. I use 11 seed beads, 15 seed beads, and just a little bit of a small touch of a heart here. So this can be any bead you want. If you have a roundel, you have a crystal, or whichever bead, or you don't even have to have this, then it will be like this. So it both looks pretty. Okay, so for this project what we need is some ring of your choice. This is a twisted ring kind of a thing. It's a closed jump ring kind of, but a little bit big. Let me tell you guys how much millimeter these are. So this is about 18 millimeter in diameter, and then we need a ear wire, and then some seed beads, and I am using all 11 seed beads and 115. Doesn't have to be like this, you can use all 11 if you want. And then some thread. I'm using here wildfire 0.006 inch thread in frost blanco color. And then one head pin. We need one head pin and a needle. I'm using here size 12 beading needle. You can use size 12 or size 10, whichever is convenient for you. And then thread snippers and one head pin, and that's about it. That's all we need for this project. So first we will take the amount of thread that we need. You need about half an arm span of thread. So arm span is if you stretch your hands wide open, so from the right to the left. So half a wingspan is all we need. So I'm gonna snip off there. And then I'm gonna thread my needle okay. So you can use any beads, as I said, and also you can use crystal beads. So any lightweight beads would work for this project, is my opinion. And seed beads is perfect. You can use different colors, you can follow a pattern. I did follow a pattern here, but if you really want to add, so this one is like a little bit, the ends are not, so we also need to use round nose pliers, needle nose pliers, and wire cutters. I'm using snippers, and then you flatten this end. That will help you put the thread through the needle. There we go. Okay, now I have threaded my needle and I don't need scissors anymore for now. So I take this ring. So I have here a pattern. I will tell you exactly how I am doing it, but you can mix and match, and you can use 4 color beads or 5 color beads or just single color. Anything will look really nice. This is fringe earrings, perfect for summer. And I'm going to use the cream beads first. So I'm picking up 2 cream beads on my needle and then drop it down. Oops. Drop it down. I'm leaving a short tail, just 2 inches of tail. So I'm putting my needle through the ring. See how I'm holding the beads right here. Okay, and then I have a 2-inch tail. Then what I'm gonna do, my thread is coming under the ring and the beads are on top of the ring, right? So I'm just going to go through that last bead that I added from the top to the bottom, just like that. So this is how it attaches your bead. And then I go through the first bead, and then go under the ring, take it on top and go through that bead. Okay, from the top. This will secure both the beads to the frame. Now I'm coming out of the first bead that we added. I'm going to go underneath, going to go to the next bead and come from underneath the loop, and then go on top and go through the bead once again and come back. So I basically went through twice into these two beads, but if you don't want, you don't have to go twice. So now I pick up one bead, drop it down, go through the ring from under, and then go through the bead from the top to the bottom. That will secure the bead to the frame. So I'll tell you guys, pick up one bead, okay, drop it down, go under the ring, and then you are going to go on top of the ring, but you are going to go from underneath the bead to the top. Okay, let me zoom in that a little bit more. Pick up a bead, drop it down, go under the ring, okay. As you can see, my wire is thread is coming like this. Now I am going from the top to the bottom, just like that. That will secure the bead and keep it on right position on top of this frame. Like this, I'm gonna add 9 beads. Drop the bead down, go under the ring, and then from the top to the bottom. That will put it right on top of the ring. See, this ring has a little bit of width, so the beads, the 11 beads, will sit right on top of it. So drop the bead down, go under the ring and come back, then go from top to the bottom. So this is how the beads sit, and make sure everything is nice and tight right next to each other. And like this, there is 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, so 2 more beads. I'm gonna add 9 more beads. This is also totally optional. If you want to have 9 strands, if you want to have more strands in this earring, then you can add 11, or any odd numbers would work, because we are going to do a difference in the length, so the odd ones will work. So 9, 11, or if you want to reduce, you can go for 7 or 13, whichever is comfortable for you. You can do that. And this is a seed bead project. Completely I kept it like a seed bead project, but if you want to add a crystal just in the final to the end of the bead, that is also over towards here, will also look really pretty. Once more, 4 and 9. I am ready to add my fringe now. I have added the first row in the earrings. So I like to work from the, I like to keep it like this and work, but some people will like to keep it like this and work. Whichever is convenient for you, you can do that. And now I'm gonna pick up 2 beads, 2 of the color A. I would say this is A, B, C, D and E. 2 of the color A, and 4 of the color B and 5 of the color C and 6 of the color D and 1 of the color E. Drop everything down, skip the last bead that I added. You should skip the last bead that we added and then go through all of the beads that we added in this fringe towards the top. Okay, and then go through the bead that we added also, the first row that we did brick stitch around the frame, and pull your thread through. Now your thread is coming on the top. Go into the loop, the ring, and turn your project around. Go through the next bead on the first row of the brick stitch from the back. So I'm going from here down there. Then pull your thread, and now you flip your project to the front. This I consider front, that to be my back. So now I'll start adding my next row. So now my thread is coming out of the second bead of the first row. I'm going to pick up beads. So how I did is I did an increment on color A and color D. I didn't do any increments on the B and the C. It's totally up to you. I used all of these 4 colors and then this 15 turquoise. So I used all of these colors, but doesn't have to be that you have to use the same color or you have to use 5 colors and you have to do the same increments. I did it this way, so I will tell you guys exactly how many beads I added in the second fringe. Okay, I'm going to pick up 3 of the color A. That's where I did the increment. So in the last row, last fringe, I picked up 2. Now I pick up 3. There is already 1 cream in the first row that we are not accounting for. So 3 of the first A color, and in the B I am taking 4 beads in the B color, and in the C color I'm picking up 5 beads, which is the teal color for me. Okay, I need only 5 beads. So A I'm picking up 3, B I'm picking up 4, and C I'm picking up 5, and then D. So how in this last fringe I picked up 6 of the color D. Here I'm going to pick up 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. I drop all of those down. So as I said, I did the increments in the color A and the color D, and the final E bead is going to be only 1 for every single row. So I'm dropping that down as well and skipping the last 15 that I added to this row and going back through all the beads in this fringe and the top brick stitch row. See, I'm coming back. Make sure there is no thread lag in here. Okay, and then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna go into the ring, turn my work in the back side, going to come back through the next bead from the back. There we go. So I'm just coming back like that. That will make a circle. See the thread, when I pull this, the thread sits on top of the ring, just like so. And then I flip my project to the front. Now I pick up 4. I'm going to do an increment 4 of the color A, and in the B and C we are not going to do any increment, so it's going to be always 4 of the B beads and 5 of the C beads. Okay, and then I'm gonna pick up, last time we picked up how much, 7 of the size D, so 7 of the D beads, color D beads, and now I'm gonna pick up 8. So I did an increment in color A and color D, and 1 E, and put all those down, and then skip the last 15 or seed beads and go back through all the beads that we added. And through the bead that we came initially, the first row, the brick stitch row that we created, and pull the thread, go into the ring and flip your work, go to the next bead from the top to the bottom and flip your work again. So I'm ready to add the 4th fringe. Okay, so 2, 3, last time we picked up 4, this time we will do an increment of 5 with the color A, and the color B and D, C doesn't change, so we are going to pick up 4 of the color B and 5 of the color C, and then we picked up 8, now we are going to pick up 9 color D. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 and 9. Make sure you have 9, and then just 1 of the color E, which is a 15. Drop everything down, skip the 15, the color E, and go through all the beads. Then go into the ring, then flip the work and go back through the next bead on the row from the top to the bottom and flip your work. So we added 4 rows, and this is going to be the center because we have 9 beads, so this is going to be the longest, so we are going to add 6 of color A, 4 of color B, 5 of color C, and then 10 of color D. and then just one of the color E. Drop everything down. I'm skipping the 50 rows and I'm going to go through all of the beads that I added, plus the first row of big stitch bead. And now pull your needle and go into the ring, flip your work, then go back to the next bead from the top to the bottom and flip your work again. So now I'm ready to decrease my beads. So how we increased here, the same way we are going to decrease one by one and going to the last one. So while decreasing, I'll decrease the top A color and the bottom D color. The rest I'm not doing anything. So I'll finish this and come back. So half a wingspan was not enough thread, as I realized. In this, for this earrings, I took one wingspan and that was perfect. So, and then I had a little bit left over, like this much. So I guess one wingspan is okay. You can have leftovers rather than this. But if you want to add thread to this project, let me show you guys how to add thread. I am out of the third bead in the brick stitch row. Okay, and then I'm going to go back through the next bead up, and I'm not going to go into the ring, but I'm coming back down through the next one, and then I'm again going back through the top one, and then I'm going to go into the ring and I'm going to catch the thread on the top of the last bead. Then I'm going to go there and I'm going to take my thing off, the needle off, and here is the short tail that we started with. So what I'm going to go ahead and do is connect these two threads together, and while checking everything is proper here. So you don't have to really tighten this work up, because we need a little bit of flow here, and wildfire is not a very flowy thread like Naimo. So I'm going to do a surgeon's knot, right over left, go underneath once, and then go underneath once, and then twice, underneath the loop twice, and then tighten the knot. You can do one more if you want to, but that's how you end the thread. If you had enough, and this might be the last, this might be the final finishing of your earrings, if you had enough thread. So now I'm going to snip this off very close, but not like really close to it. I'm still going to use a thread zapper and burn the thread. So I'm just going to leave a little bit of a tail. So make sure this is very tight enough. Then let me just use my scissors to trim this off. Okay, now I'll use a thread zapper to just ball it, or you can use a drop of glue if you have handy. yes, hyposummit or just over there. That will do. And now I'll thread in the next. My needle actually bent. There we go. I've got a short span. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to go ahead and catch a thread underneath these two beads over here, the first two beads over here. I am not having any knot here, so I'm just going to leave this thread like that and go into the next bead right here, go into the ring, and go into the next bead from the back. That's easy. Okay, don't pull a lot, it might come off. And then go back through the next bead and come into the ring at the same time, and then go on top just like that. Now you're coming out of the bead and you can do your fringe and then finish it off. So now my thread is coming out of this first bead of the brick stitch that we did. So what I'm going to do is I have my short tail right here, so I'm going to tie these together into a knot. So like a surgeon's knot, 1 and 2, one more time, right over left, go underneath the loop once and twice, and then tighten it. Then what you do is take your needle and come through any leg that's possible, or you can actually go through the bridge that you created here. And through the second fringe all the way here down to the 15-0 bead, and then you can snip off your thread here, and then I will snip off this thread also and put a dab of glue, or you can use a thread zap. I'm going to use a thread zap to actually ball this and get it nice and tidy, because I added some threads, so my bulk of knots is over there. So I'm going to do that. Now we will make the top part of the earring. So we have our ear wire, French ear wires. I have a ball head pin here and then a heart shaped bead. Just going to, these are glass beads by the way. Gonna put it into the head pin, take my round nose pliers, keep it on top, bend the wire, reposition my wire, make a loop. This loop doesn't have to be closed, just make a big loop. Okay, first add the ear wire to the loop, and then this ring also to the loop, and now you can close the loop. Just hold this entire thing with your round nose pliers and take the end and then wrap it around. You can also do a plain loop, basic loop, and not a wrap loop, but my headpin is soft, so it's 24 gauge, so I'm doing a wrapped loop and tuck the tail in. For some reason, I find the bent nose pliers very good for these kind of projects, even though it's a little bit bulkier. um, and now just one more thing that we need to do. As you can see, this is sitting in a wrong position, as you can see that. So what I'm going to do is I am going to take my, see how it is sitting, it's sitting right over here instead of like this, it's sitting right here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to hold the loop on my ear wire and turn my ear wire towards like 90 degrees. So now it's the loop is perpendicular rather than parallel to the hoop of the ear wire. Now everything will fall into place properly, and then your earring is ready. So just make sure that all the fringes are nice and neat and your earrings is done. So it's a very fun project. There is multiple options here. You can use any kind of beads you want. At the same time, you can get away with just the seed beads and a lot of colors. You can put darker colors, and you can also add crystals to it. There's so many versatility in this project, so you can make one of those and then wear it for the summer. Thank you so much for watching. Have a good day. I do upload videos every day. It comes around 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Like and subscribe to my channel.